right now, tenure in the strong union states is statistically absolute, which means essentially that unless you murder a child in front of witnesses, you're probably not going to lose your job or do something equally heinous. And there have been a number of instances where teachers have done awful things with kids and still kept their job because of progressive discipline, which means basically the first time they get a written warning, the second time they may get some time off without pay, the third time they may get fired, and so the result is bad
statistically absolute tenure. That's the result, right?
That is the result. And also with poor performers, it's very difficult to document, and there's always a number of steps that need to be taken, whether it's due to a union contract or state laws and regulations. And so many principals and supervisors of teachers give up. They say, this is too difficult, we can't be bothered with it, it's going nowhere, we'll do all this work, and in the end this teacher will still be here, and all that will happen is they'll be angry at me and I'll be angry at them, and we won't have gone anywhere, so we don't bother with it.
So again, that's where you get the statistically absolute tenure.
Correct. And what needs to happen is we need to develop performance improvement plans for those teachers who are at the bottom end of the barrel in terms of performance, and if over time they don't improve, we should be able to remove them. And that means we have to take the statistically valid approach and move it off zero and move it to some number. Now, the number I suggested in the book was that for a good performing school and school district, 2% is enough, which means basically if you have 100 teachers in your building and you have decent test scores according to all of the predictions that would arise, taking demographics into account for your building, you should be able each year to take 2 tenured teachers and remove them, 2 of your tenured teachers, and remove them from employ in your district without having to go through this onerous process of the hearings and so on that is required in most of the strong union states.
And I know you also suggest trying to get them to improve first.
Oh, absolutely. A very strong process that would guarantee the teacher has an opportunity to improve, has support from coaches that are teacher coaches that are not their supervisor that comes in, an opportunity to visit and view other classes that are being taught effectively and to work with their peers to make sure that the curriculum and instruction in their classes has every chance of being successful.
But once that doesn't work,
but if you've tried that improvement plan and you haven't gotten anywhere, you shouldn't be required to go through this onerous process that now exists with all of the teachers. The first 2% should be just, did you follow the procedures? And if you did, you should be able to eliminate those folks from their jobs. Now, if the test scores in the building are bad and there's a long-term pattern of poor behavior, 2% isn't enough. I would suggest that in the second year of poor performance, it might be 2% moves to 5%, and then in the third year, 5% becomes 10%, and at that point, the principal, the superintendent, and the school board also become eligible for replacement. It should be a sliding scale based on the performance of the school district and the schools within that school district.